So Barcelona make their 37th appearance in the Copa del Rey final after beating Villarreal 3-1 today. And I mean, if you know Barcelona by now, you'd be as well just, you don't even have to guess who the goal scorers are, to be honest. It's now Neymar adding another 2 goals and Luis Suarez scoring again. And that man, Lionel Messi, at the heart of all their movement. And joined here by Joaquin. I just want to talk, just as a broader subject as it may have been said, if these 3 players continue at this form, they will be 3 of the best players, I think, to have ever played for Barcelona together up top.
I think that's a fair assessment. You know, you look at the talent they've had over the years, and I mean, they've put together front lines of Messi with David Villa and Ibrahimovic. You know, those clicked, but never, you know, we haven't seen a beast like what we see right now. You know? They had a time where they had Henry, Eto'o, and Messi, and you see
Henrik Larsson. Let's talk about Henrik Larsson. Let's not forget him. He was
always a good shout out to him.
And if I was to think about Barcelona going back even further, Patrick Kluivert, I mean, even further back, Ronaldo. Like we know that Barcelona have always had a dynamic partnership. Sometimes, though, that partnership has kind of been led by a front main striker like a Kluivert, like a Ibrahimovic didn't exactly fall into it as easy, but that's kind of what they went with. Now they have 3 dynamic strikers who can move so fluently in amongst each other, and I love talking about them on tactics because it's so hard to defend against them. Manchester City tried to, they didn't play 5 in the midfield, which everyone talked about, but I don't think that even matters. You can't dive in. And Messi basically will go like that. Messi will drop into that hole between the 18-yard box and the halfway line and draw defenders out, and then you have to deal with the interchanging runs of Suarez and Neymar. That is why I think they're so unmatched, and no one in the world at the moment can match those front 3 defensive lines at all. So it will be interesting to see where they go with it. If they don't get to the Champions League final against Manchester City, and if they don't win the La Liga or put up that fight, you'll have to question what's going on, because with those front 3, surely they have to be bringing trophies.
I mean, there's no excuse not to. I mean, that's why I picked them to, you know, unpopularly, I picked them to win La Liga this year.
Yeah.
Looking at a team like Real Madrid, who also have a similarly studded front line.
Yeah.
But you take a team like this where they have 3 players who are arguably, well, actually undebatably top 10 players in the world. You know, you can certainly argue that 2 of them are in the top 5.
Yes.
And, you know, they've had big names in this front line before, but when have you had players of this caliber on form playing together like this? You know, you see Messi adapting to the role of being a provider as well as a goal scorer, and it's scary. It's terrifying.
It is petrifying, and it's something that many teams need to understand, that you can't play against them the way you play against any front line, because any front 2 is hard enough to play against. Some of the best front 2 partnerships in the world have stemmed from the La Liga, and I mean, I think about Real Madrid solely is the fact that they are the opposite sometimes. You know what I mean? When I think that this year they started to have Bale, Benzema and Ronaldo combined so well, but if you look previously before, in the times when they brought in the likes of Robin, they brought in the Galacticos, but they haven't gelled as easily as what these 3 have, in my perspective, for their first season. And it's bold to say the least, but Real Madrid, you don't see any conflict between players like Messi, Neymar and Suarez at the moment. Fans are booing Gareth Bale because they think that he holds on to the ball too much. And surely that's natural when you've got so many talented dribblers of the ball in a team, right? When you've got Bale coming in from the right and Ronaldo, who wants mostly every possession has to go through him, in his view. So it's hard to defend against, and that's why I come out with these statements. And I think that this front 3 have the potential to be the best front 3 that anyone has ever seen play together.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's anyone else in world football right now that can compete? I mean, who else would, if you could name 2 or 3 other teams that would actually have, you know, a comparable front line, or anywhere even close, who do you think would have it?
I think Bayern Munich have got a great front line. I love that they added Robert Lewandowski this year. He was a great player for me, and with Ribéry and Robin, I still think that they can provide a great opportunity to win the Champions League because of their full all-round team. We've just seen Sergio Busquets potentially be out for a long time with a horrific injury. I mean, it's just he's someone that anchors their midfield. So as a team as a whole, I think there's plenty of teams that can rival Barcelona. As an attacking front 3, they're the best in the world for me at the moment. And ask me this at the start of the season, after 5 games into Premier League, into the La Liga, I would have said Real Madrid, because Benzema, Ronaldo and Bale were unmatched. But
Suarez was suspended.
So Suarez was suspended. Even when Suarez came back, it looked like he'd had a few too many pies at half-time. And it took a while for him to get back.
I think that says a lot for them, even though he missed the first 2 months of the season, and they say they already look like this. I mean, obviously they still get to play together in training, but it's different in the training pitch as it is on the pitch.
Of course, and we know that. So I think we're both in agreement that this front line is petrifying. This front line is dynamic. This front line is goal scoring. This front line is everything that you expect from the top level of world football, and it is so enjoyable to watch. So we will definitely be following Barcelona more. So they round it up 3-1 win. Suarez with 1 and Neymar with 2.
Yeah.
Make sure to come back to TIT Sports. Check out Joaquin's podcast, The Morning Pint. Great podcast. I'll be on there shortly. Thanks again, guys.